Well, hey there, everyone. It is meteorologist Terry Swails. It is a Friday, and you're on tswails.com. And of course, Friday is usually a day of great joy as we all look forward to the upcoming weekend. But I got to tell you, this lady here, she's not looking too happy. I think she's been checking out the temperatures that we've experienced this summer. And we've only had one 90-degree day here in the Quad Cities, and many other parts of eastern Iowa and western Illinois have not even seen that, not even a single day. And so right now we are trending towards one of the coldest summers on record here in the Midwest, at least in the central Midwest. I'm going to show you some temps here for the month of July, and this is for the Quad Cities, and you can see the top 10 warmest and top 10 coldest Julys here in the Quad Cities. And of course, 1936, that was a blistering year. Look what the average temperature was for July then, 83 degrees. Wow. But back in 1891, on the other extreme, the coldest year was established when the temperature was only running right around 69 degrees. And this year, our temperature so far during the month of July in the Quad Cities is at just 70.3 degrees. So that puts us in third place all time for the coldest July. And with the temperatures we're expecting over the next several days here, turning cooler and cooler, I think we're going to give the all-time coldest July a very good run for its money. And could this turn out to be the year without a summer? Well, if you look at the long-range trends, I see nothing that's really going to send any warm air in here anytime soon. This is the jet stream on Monday, and by that time, once again, a strong northwest flow is beginning to develop. The old storm track here is digging in from the northwest, gouging out a major trough over the eastern U.S., and it sure looks like that's going to remain locked in place for at least the next 8 to 10 days. So I'm taking you out now to August 1st, and once again, you can see the trough holding sway over the eastern United States. So with that northwest flow prevailing, it's going to be very, very tough for any mild air to get into the Midwest, and I'm expecting a lot more 70-degree temperatures in the days ahead. In fact, let's break it down for you on a 5-day basis. So this is day 1 through 5. This is the temperature anomalies. Look at the greens over much of the north central United States and into the Ohio Valley, and of course including the Midwest. Now we're going out to day 5 through 10. Wow, the cold gets even more pronounced all the way from the Rockies into the eastern U.S. Temperatures running 5 to as much as 20 degrees below what's typical. That's quite astounding. And we're even going to take you out to the 10 to 15 day period here, and still a lot of greens right through the central Midwest, running all the way from the Rockies and the Midwest into the eastern U.S. So essentially, once this pattern gets established here early next week, it looks like it's going to be locked in for about 2 weeks, and that's going to mean some unusually cool temperatures for many parts of the country. This is the 16-day temperature anomaly, and all the way from the Rockies through the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, the eastern U.S., actually all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, temperatures are going to be running way below normal. And by this time, of course, we're getting well into the month of August. The days are getting shorter, and the chances of getting into major heat waves get less and less by the day. And we might as well take a look at August too. This is what the CFS V2 model is showing. It's a long-range U.S. model. Still has slightly below normal temperatures during August, and we'll take you right on into September here. Still looking at below normal temperatures over much of the north-central U.S., including the Midwest. And so by that time, of course, we are into fall and summer is over. And this is not going to be a very warm one across much of the central U.S. I was pretty much expecting that, and sure enough, the models are verifying nicely on what we were projecting for the long-term trends and where we are currently at and where we will be heading into over the next couple of months. One other thing I'll touch on here before we wrap things up, and it's this disturbance which is moving into the Midwest today. This will be bringing with it a couple of showers and thunderstorms. I see 2 periods where these are likely. One of those is today, and another one is later on Saturday or Saturday night. And how much rain occurs is still very much up in the air. Models just having a real difficult time pinpointing this particular situation. So what I've relied on here is the Weather Prediction Center's forecast for rainfall, and this goes out over the next 120 hours or 5 days. And it does have a pretty good axis of significant rains that run through eastern Iowa, the Quad Cities, and right on down into Illinois and Indiana. So this is no guarantee by sure, but it gives you a pretty rough idea of at least where the models are consensus where this heavier precipitation will be. So they're just kind of averaging things out there and giving you a look at where you think the heavier rains might end up occurring. So right now that would include the Quad Cities, so maybe we'll see another half an inch to an inch of rain around here before we get through the upcoming weekend. And at that point, that's when the storm track once again switches back to the northwest and colder air moves back in here. And we'll be seeing the cool conditions then all of next week, probably into the next 2 weeks. And low humidity certainly will be a major feature as well. So another fall preview coming our direction here as we get into early next week. And this is a trend we'll be watching closely over the next couple of weeks because this could lead to the year without a summer. At any rate, that is your weather briefing for this Friday. Have a terrific weekend, everyone. Thanks for visiting tswails.com. And as I always say, roll weather.